Got it.
It says the broadcast is live.
I think we're live. I think we're
we
officially live.
Yep, we're live.
Do we have to wait a couple minutes to make sure we're live, or we're live right now?
Oh yeah, let's let it populate. Is that the word? That's what we do on YouTube. We let it populate. We let people know that we're in here. We got to tweet it out. There's always that awkward
100% live now.
There's always that
I
couple.
don't know. I feel like maybe we should wait a little bit longer, Bush.
Frankie, did you get a little burnt today playing golf? You got a little red nose.
Oh my God, it's so burnt.
Didn't put any sunscreen on the face?
Something about filming a video, you just forget that you're outside.
I agree. You think about other things.
Like microphones, cameras, what are we doing? And then like you're through the day and you're like, oh wait, that wasn't like a light. That was the sun, and my face is fucking burnt to crisp. And the worst part is I'm gonna start getting that white forehead, that Stewart Sink, that Patrick Reed.
You can't have that for the wedding, dude.
With the wedding dude, oh my God! I mean, I'll absolutely take that bronzer. That I'll do something. I'll do self tanning or something. I have to.
Yeah.
You ever see the mitten?
It gets to a point where
it's mitten for sure. If you watch Love Island like I do, and then you follow the people who are on Love Island afterwards, there's a lot of mittens going on.
So many mittens.
So many mittens.
Oh my
PGA
God!
Championship day 1. Oak Hill.
Still not over. It has been a long day, 2-hour rain delay, so they're still out there. Eric Cole has taken the lead. Wow, that happened very fast. He's in the clubhouse, I think.
Right before I came in here, I watched Adam Scott miss a 3.5 footer to get to 5 under, and so he was good. He was going to be the solo leader, but it sounds like it's Cole.
Well, that's what it's saying up here, but I don't think that's correct. Bush, is that correct?
Because it was DeChambeau.
Yeah, okay. So we got
Scott.
DeChambeau at 4 under, Adam Scott at 4 under, Dustin Johnson at 4 under, and Eric Cole at 4 under. Bryson DeChambeau was your pick for the cut, and Adam Scott, I believe, was Frankie's pick. So you guys want to take a little victory lap to start out with?
Well, there was just something about we were on the grounds. You're obviously on the grounds right now. For anyone watching on YouTube, they can see that you are very clearly at Oak Hill. You're inside the media tent, so you're reporting from the grounds. We just got back last night. We got back yesterday, and we saw Bryson walking around. We saw Adam Scott walking around. All it takes for me, it's like walking around the is it the paddock? Is it the paddock when you go to a horse race and you see all the horses right before they go out to go onto the track? You kind of walk around. This is something that Dave Portnoy told me that he does. Like if you have a VIP experience or if you're in with some of the trainers, you'll be able to walk around and look at the horses. You see what they look like. Something about Adam Scott, I saw it in him. Maybe for Trent, the same thing. Maybe it was just he remembered that Bryson existed, because it's hard to sometimes remember that this guy's a golfer and you saw him and you're like, I'm going to pick that guy.
That's what it was.
He is. He was talking today in his press conference afterwards about, he's got this new diet. So he's lost, like 20 pounds or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, it turns out that eating 5,000 calories a day and 9 protein shakes wasn't good for my gut. It's like, well,
wow.
How did you ever come to that stunning conclusion? But the interesting part is he's gotten a lot skinnier, but he still swings it just as fast. So he led the field in strokes gained off the tee today. And look, Rory kind of tried to warn us about this before the tournament. He said this course reminds me a lot of Winged Foot in that the fairways are very narrow and you can run it up to the greens. It's not forced carries. So if you're hitting it far and you're in the rough, you can still muscle wedges out of there and have it run up the green. And because the greens are all sloped from back to front, the ball stops and it stays on the green. And he said, look, we know what type of style of golf won there. Let's see what wins this week. It's obviously only one round, but Bryson, it was a lot like Winged Foot today in that he was hitting it long, hitting it straight, and his driver is still such a weapon when he squares it up, because despite losing all that weight, he hasn't lost the speed.
Dude, the rough is brutal. I watched Matty Fitz this morning. I placed a wager on him to have a better round than Cam Smith. That did not end up working out. But Matty Fitz was spraying it bad early on off the tee. And watching him try to chop it out of the rough looked like Winged Foot. That rough, I know it's a PGA Championship, whatever. This rough is like a U.S. Open. If you are in the rough and you're pretty far back and you can't chop it out like a Bryson DeChambeau, you're going to have a tough time. I think Matty Fitz shot a 76 today.
Yeah, he shot
John Rahm should have 78.
Yeah, 76, 6 over.
76. John Rahm shot a 76 today. That is just, we watched that guy prepare. We were right next to him. We were on his bag for 3-4 hours, some of us. No one more confident than John Rahm. I think he was asked about that. Whoa, What just happened? You guys see that?
I can
Everything
hear
just
you.
went black on me. Everything just went black on me. He was asked about that. Like, how do you feel? And he goes, super confident. I mean, the guy's the number one player in the world, just won the Masters. He's coming into another major. He's ready to round into form for possibly winning every single one this year. And then he goes out and shoots a 76. That just goes to show you how difficult this course is. And it shows you that no matter how good you are at the game of golf, you could be the best player in the world. When the conditions tighten up and the fairway tightens up and the rough is up, there's just like us. They start to fucking get a little bit tighter on the tee box and balls start to flare. I was just watching Tony Finau, Max Homa. These guys are just spraying balls off the tee. They never do that. They're hitting Marshalls that are like standing way off of the fairway. I'm like, why is that happening so much? It's because your target shortens and it minimizes, and all of a sudden when you minimize your target, you maximize all of your mistakes. It's crazy how that happens.
It's crazy how that works. You'd think it would go the other way, where you aim small and you miss small, but you're 100% right. Like, think about, anyone can relate to this. You're playing a golf course that has a super wide fairway and you're driving it on a string because you're not thinking about any sort of misses. The course is kicking ass. I'm looking through the scores today. Patrick Cantlay 4 over, Sam Burns 4 over, Cameron Young 5 over, Matt Fitzpatrick 6 over, John Rahm 6 over, Jason Day just won 6 over, Sung J M, who won last week in Korea, been great all year, 6 over, Turtle Hatton 6 over, Wyndham Clark, who won his last start, 7 over par. So it does. It feels very much like a U.S. Open where, guys are coming in great form, they're swinging it great, they're talking about how well they're playing, and they get kicked in the teeth right from the first hole.
It's fun watching. I mean, just as a golf fan, it's fun watching the ball just get buried in the rough. It disappears. It fully and completely disappears, and it's trouble. Yeah, I mean, some of those scores and some of those names that you listed off, it's going to be a really fun tournament. It's going to be very interesting to see who can put together 4 good rounds because it is a tough golf course.
It's a tough golf course. It's cold. They're going to come back tomorrow morning. I think these guys probably aren't going to finish, Adam Scott and Dustin Johnson. But yeah, Eric Cole is now leading the tournament. He birdied his last 3 holes. Another, that kind of feels like what happens at U.S. Opens, where there's not a mini tour pro, but a guy that is off everyone's radar, who is up there. And then behind him, you've got Bryson, Adam Scott, Dustin Johnson, Scotty Scheffler. So Scotty Scheffler, of the pre-tournament favorites, is definitely in the best position. Shot bogey-free 67 today. Bogey-free on this golf course is serious stuff.
Scotty Scheffler's a problem. Him and Rahm, when you're going into a championship, a major, you know that they're just going to be the guys. Scheffler obviously getting out to a good start is a problem for the rest of the field. A lot of Michael Block talk. I mean, the coverage fucking loves Michael Block. He's a PGA pro. I mean, he plays in tournaments from time to time, right? Like, I looked, he played in the Farmers and he played in something else, the American Express, and he misses cuts. He's played in like 24 events or something like that. What is the story behind Michael Block? Why do people love him so much?
Well, he did a walk and talk, so he was very good. Yeah, he was very good on the walk and talk. I think he must have won if you win the section, like, there's the Met section. If you win your section championship, you usually get into a couple of PGA Tour events. So he's from Southern California. I would guess that he won his section, which probably got him into the Farmers and the American Express. It's obviously super, super impressive that these club pros are even, remotely close to playing against these guys who do it week in and week out and have their entire job is getting better at golf. But I'm going to say this is a big but. 20 feels like too many. I mean, 20 feels like too many. What do we need 20 of them for? I get it. Like, this is their reward. It used to be 25, so we've made steps in the right direction. But would anything be lost if it was 10? Do we really need 20 club pros in the mix?
This championship needs its identity, and I don't hate that that's it, man. And I don't know if we're too close to the sun on this one because we are pals with a lot of these PGA pros, but it's so fucking cool to hear them talk about the opportunity that their peers get, and every single one of them technically has. Like, it's always that open invitation. It's always that thing that you can strive for. Maybe that one time you get in. Maybe you are a Michael Block that wins your section, and all of a sudden you're playing on the PGA Tour. It's like, it's that glimmer of hope for these guys that grind and that, like, they hold what's the word I was going to look for? They hold not the candle. They hold
carry the torch.
They hold the torch. They hold the torch for the game of golf. These guys. I'm watching our guy Dan today at Colonial Springs. He's just on it was Thursday night league, men's league, and he's just on the range, just like fucking making sure everyone's okay. And it's just like a crazy shotgun start at like 6:00 at night. And I'm like, that guy. Imagine that guy was the Michael Block of like the PGA Championship in 2 years. Like that's why I love that shit. But like I said, maybe we are just a little too close to it, because I could see how some just average fan would be like, why do I want to watch all these guys that have no chance?
Yeah, it's just like 10 feels like the right number. Like I don't think that I get it. I think that they should be able to have this. It's a cool carrot. And look, we've all seen the pro who's giving a lesson to some older person who's terrible, and you're like, he definitely wants to be anywhere else besides where he is right now.
Yep.
And this is kind of the reward that they get, like, oh, I'm a PGA professional, I could do this. But I just feel like 20 is too many. Did you guys see the Tom Kim situation?
I was going to bring that up. I saw it, but is there footage of what happened exactly?
I think it's one of those situations where one of the cameras just saw him and switched to him. I don't really know exactly what happened, because he ended up taking a drop. So I don't know if he went in there trying to, and Tommy Fleetwood just bogeyed the last hole, so it's going to be close in the for the cut bet. He's 2 over. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm already thinking for the cut.
Dude, Tom Kim looks like he was Jim Carrey coming out of the rhinoceros's asshole, where he's just covered in shit.
I flipped it when I saw him. He was pretty much all the way wiped off. But then if you go back and look at the early images, he is covered. He looks like he got dipped in ink. Like I don't understand what happened, but the visuals are very funny.
I saw Dylan DeChair. I know it's your it's Rap versus DeChair on Twitter at this point, but I saw DeChair put up the clip from Shawshank Redemption, because it literally looks like he's coming out of one of those tunnels that they come out of in Shawshank at the end, where he's just like finally out and free. I mean, how could that possibly happen to our sweet boy Tom Kim?
He must be freezing right now too, because it's getting a lot colder out there. The heat is fastly leaving the grounds in Rochester, and having your legs be freshly dried with mud is probably not the best feeling.
I mean, it's for anyone that's like doesn't know what we're talking about.
It's like, oh,
look at him.
How did it get up on his forearm?
He's looking at it like, what the fuck just happened to me? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm at the PGA Championship. Fallen, right? Oh my god.
That couldn't have been like the plan, because it's not like he was like, oh, his ankles. Like if that was the plan, was that you're going to be up to your knees and it's going to be like, there's no way he had gone in, right? He must have fallen in.
His legs are covered, completely and 100% covered. Unbelievable stuff from Tom.
And where he's coming out of, it's like, it's crazy.
I don't understand.
I mean, what happened? He's like, oh my god.
I'm super bummed that we don't have full footage of what happened.
He's playing the rest of the round with his pants like rolled up to his knees, because I think he just at this point it's just damage control.
He threw the shirt off and then threw a quarter zip back on, so he's going nothing under his quarter zip. He's just, what a scene from Tom Kim.
This is the major championship golf. This is what happens. Sometimes you got to go waist deep in a pile of shit in order to save par. I think he made par on the hole, so all's well that ends well. Yeah, it's gonna be a grind. I mean, look, there's a chance that John Rahm misses the cut, which would be there's a lot of good players who could miss the cut. I think there are all these guys that you look at going, and it's just a reminder that golf is so incredibly difficult to predict, because, like you said, Rahm showed absolutely no signs of being anything except for totally 100% dialed and in a great headspace coming into this week. Victor Hovland's up there at 2 under. Wearing a crazy outfit yet again. I asked him about this, and he's basically like, listen, they pay me to wear these clothes, and that's what this is.
Oh, that was your question?
Yeah.
That is an unbelievable response from him, bitch, being like, yeah, no, they pay me a boatload of money, so when they send me, he was even like, off the course, I wear pretty normal things, but then when I come to these major championships, they send me the craziest shit. That was a really funny answer from him.
It's funny that he said that, because you remember the Netflix show with Morikawa, and he was like, I'm not wearing that. I'm absolutely not wearing that. So I guess Hovland's just like a much easier going guy.
I mean, it was a fiery shirt, and something else that has to do with fire is Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. When you find yourself in a crazy situation, or you're stressed out over the game of golf like Tom Kim is for the rest of his round, just covered and doused in mud, Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire. Fireball is all about helping you push away with all the little annoying parts of golf and turn the fun up a notch and have some damn fun with it. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. Fireball is the birdie shot of golf and the #1 shot in the U.S. And the Fireball 50 milliliters, we love those little nips. We had that call to action where we wanted everyone to hit those balls, the drivers off of it, rip the nip. And, those have started to slow down. We got a lot of them. Make sure that you're getting your packet of Fireball nips. You can get them out basically anywhere that is selling alcohol, and you have to drink it, put it down on the ground. It's going to be really hard to fucking make the ball stay on top of this nip because it's plastic and it really doesn't have the integrity. You can do it, though. Once you do it, it's going to be worth it because you take the video ripping that driver right off of it and send it in to us. If you're really feeling like upping the ante on the golf course this weekend, make sure you go and grab the new Fireball Birdie Shot Club. It's literally a golf club filled with Fireball nips. Did you guys get this sent to you? It's a golf club filled with fucking Fireball. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. That's awesome. It's absolutely cool. Wow. So it's absolutely the coolest thing you'll ever see. Make sure you grab it. It's a golf club. It's got Fireball inside it. Go look out for it. Thank you to Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey.
I saw that our guy Scotty addressed the divots video,
and that was Danny's question.
That was
also
my question again. I'm doing some real work here, fellas.
Dude,
come on,
how do you
now.
Did you not hear? Danny has such a you can totally see it's such a recognizable voice in there. You're like the only person that sounds like a real person inside that media tent.
I think what happens to me is I start seeing quotes. I don't know. Listen, you're doing great work because the two things that I kind of wanted to talk about are the two questions that you asked. So what exactly did Scotty say?
He said that it was early in the morning and he was just trying to wake up and he saw Tiger not taking any divots. So he asked him what was going on, and he doesn't believe Tiger. He doesn't believe him. He's like, I think he was doing a drill. I think he didn't want to say anything because we were on camera, but you got to ask JT, which a lot of guys say that stuff. Like when you ask them about Tiger, they're like, yeah, go ask JT. Like, go ask JT. I don't know if they're jealous. I remember Rom said this a couple of weeks. He's like, one time I asked Tiger for advice. He doesn't give me anything. I look over and he's giving JT a full dissertation. So I think guys might be a little jealous of Tiger's relationship with JT.
Did Tiger get you to rethink your divot taking strategy?
No.
Are you surprised at how much people have gotten a kick out of that video?
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it, but I do remember that day, and that was like one of the first things we did that day. And so I was just trying to wake up, and I look over, and he hadn't made any divots, and I was a little bit confused. So the look on my face probably said it all. But I don't know. I think he was doing some sort of drill or something like that, and maybe didn't want to tell me because the cameras were on. But who knows? Maybe he really doesn't take divots. Gotta ask JT.
Oh, that is an interesting little end to that.
See, that's a little I feel like there's a little bit of an edge there. I think guys are a little jealous of Tiger and JT.
He's like been tapped as the next guy, and he's the only one who gets the information and like the tips from the king, the GOAT. Yeah, there was a little bit of weirdness there at the end of that with the Ask JT.
He has no idea what happened. He still is kind of fumbling. His brain is completely scrambled when it comes to that situation. He says he hasn't watched it yet, but then knows exactly that everyone was talking about his face. So he had to have gotten comments all week about it.
I mean, it's a stop you in your tracks video, as we talked about on the podcast. It's one of the funny videos of the year so far. But yeah, no, Scotty, I mean, it's shaping up to be a pretty good leaderboard so far. You know, obviously Eric Cole, but I'd love to see Adam Scott make another run. It feels like a little criminal that he only has one major championship. You guys spent a lot of time with him a couple months ago. He's 40, what is he, 42, 43, but he still has so much speed. He's still so good, and I feel like he's had too good of a career to finish it with just one major.
He had a couple drives 365 yards today.
Was he pumping it when he was pumping it with you guys, right?
Pumping it. He was pumping it with us. Yeah, there were a couple of times when he hit shots that I couldn't believe that he was hitting. But I would like to see him get another one. He's 42 years old, I think, getting up there. But that swing is too pretty to only have one.
How did Rory do today?
So Rory shot one over, which was actually pretty decent. He was 3 over on the second hole, which was his 11th hole, and he was just short of the green in 2. He chipped it over the green. So he has like a putt for par from over the green. He's got his head in his hands. He's 3 over par. And I'm thinking, this guy wants to be anywhere except for here. He holes out for par. The next hole is a par 3. He hits it to this far. He makes birdie. The next hole after that's a par 5. He birdies that one. So he gets it into the house at 1 over. And it was just one of those classic moments that we've all had in golf where you're just ready to give up on the round. You're like, fuck this. You probably play a little bit faster. You have like a 35-footer for par and it goes in. And then everything changes.
Yeah.
You had a great tweet in the beginning of the day with, how do you say his name? Kazuki Higa?
Yeah.
Kazuki Higa started out with what, 4 birdies in his first 6 holes or 5 holes. He was 4 under through 5.
Yeah.
Starting on the back, and you were basically like, how many birdies would Kazuki Higa have to birdie in a row for you to think he actually has a chance to win this thing? And the responses were making me laugh out loud. One guy's like, all 18 holes. If he birdied all 18 holes,
win the tournament?
I don't think I would.
I think you need to shoot 25 under par for the first 25 holes.
I honestly think if he went 18 under, I would be like, no chance. No chance. Even if the next guy was, there's just something about it. Like that first day of major championship golf means absolutely nothing to me. Obviously, it means something to the tournament, but it feels very much like the first half of a basketball game where you're like, sure, some teams getting up to a really good lead, but we have to just see how they're playing. Are they making their threes? Are they do they have their game today? Is Steph Curry hot? Is he wet today? You don't really know, but the score doesn't matter. So like this guy getting out to that hot of a lead, you're not even blinking an eye at that.
It's like Charlie Hoffman at the Masters all those years.
What did he end up finishing? Is the
shot
perfect
2 over?
So exactly.
Yeah.
You didn't even know. It's like you're not surprised at all.
No,
No,
you've got no chance.
No, that somebody always does that. Sometimes it's a no-name guy, and you're like, you just know, you could bet your life is he going to be there Sunday? It's like no chance, none.
Yeah, it's like it's no other sport. Do we ask? There's a bunch of people around in this room, writing stories right now about players, and they're saying, oh, I saw some. I know I'm getting real I'm holier than now, but I saw some.
No, I'm
some
reading
story
a
that was
comment. We're gonna get to it after.
That like Bryson DeChambeau is back, and it's like. It's been 1 round. This would be like asking people to write stories after the first quarter of a basketball game. It's a great analogy you just made. It means nothing. And before, I remember I would be like, "Oh, I got to write this story because he shot 4 under." It's like we're literally 25% through the tournament.
Yep.
We're seeing some of these YouTube comments because we are live right now on YouTube, but this will go out as a podcast. And D Jetty Gravity says, "How much camera shit does that guy behind Dan have? I cannot stop watching him. He's the guy.
Still going at
the
it?
Man behind you has been packing up his camera bag." For however long we've been live, 21 minutes and 45 seconds. He just keeps grabbing equipment, going to another bag, putting caps on cameras. It's crazy.
Dude,
what was he filming today?
He had something that looked like a lightsaber that he put up on the table, and I've never seen a guy pack so much equipment.
It's astronomical how much equipment this guy has. Hunter Maury says, has anyone ever asked Max Homa why he insists on taking his glove off with his mouth? It's a great call. He always bites that Velcro off. Why?
That is not sanitary.
Have you ever noticed it? Picture him doing it.
I'm thinking about it now. I've definitely seen him do it a lot.
Every time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's another glove gate. Remember in the Masters when Brooks took off his glove and did the 5 and everyone was freaking out?
Max is a guy who obviously we've talked about this a lot, but he gets a bad rap with like the internet stuff, and he's such a jokester that everyone kind of has the feeling he doesn't actually care out there. There's like that weird overhanging, like you look at Max and you're like, oh, he's just gonna joke this one off when he misses a putt, and then you watch
changing.
Oh, it's definitely changing because he's a legitimate superstar and he's winning and all of that, but it always is a little bit jarring when they zoom in on him and he just fucking goes in on himself when he misses a putt. He missed a little tap in before and ended up making a bogey on that par 3 to finish. And he was like, motherfucker. Like he was going crazy on himself. He can't believe what just happened. And he just he goes all in on him and he lets it go on the next hole. But he's just from the green to the next tee box. It's kind of like John Rahm. He just lets himself hear it. And it just always is like, wow, that's Max. Like that's the Max that'll just joke around and ask Trent how his mom and dad is. But the guy fucking cares, man. He cares a lot.
He cares a lot, and he knows it's time for him to start playing well in majors. He's what is he, 6 or 7 in the world, and he still doesn't have one single top 10 in the major championship in his entire career, which is crazy because he's won at Riviera, he's won at Quail Hollow, he's won at Torrey Pines. These are all big major championship golf courses.
Yeah.
And then he comes to the majors. They just showed a clip of Tom Kim, I guess, like seeing himself after the round, and he went like this. He couldn't believe it. What do you mean you couldn't believe it? You just lived it, dude. Your legs, you didn't see your legs?
I still don't understand what really happened. I can't wait to hear about what exactly his body went through to be covered in ink.
Is this a real stat from Hunter Maury in the chat? He says no one has ever won shooting greater than 5 over on day 1.
That sounds right. Yeah. I mean,
There's never been
I
a
would guess-
John Rahm that just kind of shit the bed day one and then just lit the world on fire.
I mean, he said worse than 5 over.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess 5 over in a USO. I mean, typically Thursday is the easiest day. That's the crazy part, right? And that's what I think it was Scotty was saying that today. It was like, I actually think today it might be the easiest day. We might be in for like a 3 under par, 4 under par winning score, which is absolutely fine with me. But if there is one guy who could do it, it is Rahm. It would not surprise me if tomorrow he comes out and shoots 3 under, 4 under, but he's so far back. He's 10 back of Bryson. He's 10 back of DJ. It's a lot of ground to cover.
Scott Atkins asks, Eric Cole is an incredible story. Hope he wins. What's the incredible story behind Eric Cole?
I think he's like a 35-year-old rookie. Remember, he lost to Chris Kirk at the Honda Classic, but yeah, just one of those guys who was playing on the mini tours for like the vast majority of his career, never really had any money, kept at it, finally got his card this year, and he finished solo second at the Honda. So he's going to keep his card. He's made well over $1 million this year. Beautiful swing, lefty, I believe. So yeah, just one of those gritty grinders who never gave up the dream. And this is why, these guys, they're not far off from seeing their name on the top of a major championship leaderboard.
54 mini tour wins.
Is that what it is? 54 mini tour wins.
That's Tom Kim.
Oh,
he's devastated that he got caught in the mud.
Oh shit. Well, it was definitely an eventful first day. The golf course kind of showed its teeth. That's some good golf course jargon right there. That's some major talk. Showing its teeth. The golf course is winning right now for a lot of guys. And, I wouldn't count out any of those guys that are above par. I mean, I really don't think that this is going to get much lower. I know tomorrow is going to be a nice day. Should be decent for scoring. But then is the weekend supposed to kind of get dicey with some rain, and it's going to get really cold and windy?
Yeah, cold and windy, and when it's cold, those greens get really firm overnight, and this course is already firm to begin with. So it's a beast. It's gonna be a really tough weekend. It's gonna look and feel a lot like a U.S. Open, which I think everyone's down for.
Yeah, we're all pumped for it. It was a Thursday, and that is really all I've got because not much else happened that I can think of.
No, it was a good day. Shout out to Fireball. And we'll be back. We're doing these every single day, so we'll be back after the coverage. Probably not as late as today because obviously the frost delay delayed everything. But no, we'll be back every day to recap the tournament. I'm excited to see what happens. It's going to be Bryson. I hope he stays in the mix. I
hope so too.
I have forgotten how I never want to be mean to Bryson because it's just our relationship is so strange. But his press conferences are strange. The way he's just not. He can't answer anything all that cleanly, and he's all over the place. And I just want him to be involved because he's such an interesting character in the world of golf. So that's the guy I'm rooting for.
My guy's still packing up that camera. It's just fucking. He's just still packing that camera.
His time.
Adam
Scott made a double bogey on the last hole.
Oh,
no.
So that's not good. Yeah. So he's in at 2 under. And that's you're never in the house till you're in the house. Still, For the Cut. Also, guys, everyone follow along. Is in great shape. For the Cut's in really good shape.
We need Tommy. Is Tommy the one that's dicey?
Tommy's kind of dicey, and let me see where Chris Kirk finished at. So we have Bryson DeChambeau, who is leading the tournament. We have Adam Scott, who just made a double. Chris Kirk is even through 17, which is a really good score. And Tommy Fleetwood's +2 in the house T43. So as of right now, we would hit. So those are the guys we got to watch.
I bet the over 1.5 hole-in-ones in the tournament. I don't think we had one today, so I'm a little nervous about that one. The par threes, man, dude, that one today was playing 248. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, 15 is the short one where they had a really nasty pin today. It was back left, so I think if it's in the front part of the green, we might see one there.
Okay, I'm rooting
Matty
for it.
Fitz was ripping 3-wood on that par 3 during the practice rounds. I saw him put up an Instagram story. He's like, "What is this? That's a fucking hard club to be hitting into a small little par 3 green."
Yeah, with all that cabbage around it.
Oh,
Matty Fitz hit one OB today, and after it went out of bounds, he acted like he had something fly into his eye. I don't know if it was real or not, but he was really rubbing it. He was like, "Oh man, I really got something in my eye." He launched one out of bounds. It was something to behold. But
so this guy behind you, he's gonna unpack tomorrow and then pack it back all up again tomorrow
like
night. We're talking about a half an hour pack up job. Look at that. He's still got wires. He's still got wires. I mean, how does that little backpack fit anything that would be 30 minutes worth of packing up?
Did this guy
he
get a
just
text
loves the
from
camera, and he's just yeah.
his nephew being like, "You're on the foreplay recap stream. Just stay back
Dude,
there."
the comments are all picking up on it. They're like, the guy in the back is trolling now. He's reading it. We got to get a guest appearance from the pod from the camera guy at some point. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable. If he's there tomorrow packing up shit post round, I think I'll fucking lose it. I got a guy, Robert Ramirez, in the chat that always calls me Short King. I've seen him comment this, and he's tweeted at me. He says that he writes, ever since Dan joined, Frankie is the new Short King. All hail the Short King of the podcast. And I swear, I think I'm the tallest one on the podcast.
You're definitely taller than me.
I'm 5'11". I don't give myself the 6 foot because I think that's,
dude, you're 6 foot, no?
with shoes on. I am. I know when I go to the doctor, I'm like 5'11", and they just won't. It's just not there on the 6.
It's just not quite.
Riggs and I are the exact same height. We're 5'11" and 3/4.
See, so am I.
Dan, how tall are you?
I'm like 5'10" and a half with no shoes on. So I'm
we're all pretty much the same. There's no big difference. There's no real Short King of the podcast.
We lost Lurch.
Yeah, he's a tall boy. He's
Lurch
a tall
is
boy.
real tall. True,
Patrick Cantler's camera crew behind you. That's so good. Well, it's because the guy's just taking forever. No, it's not actually Patrick Cantler.
I was like, what?
No,
it's a joke because Patrick Cantler just plays really slow. If you got the joke.
Yeah. Slow play.
No,
big topic these days.
Huge topic.
There.
All right. That's it. That's all I've got. I just ordered 2 different types of Ralph's ice cream from Ralph's Ices because I'm going to put one in the freezer and I'm just going to eat it tomorrow. I couldn't decide, so I got both.
I'm back in Cedar Rapids because the Classic is in Iowa on Monday, and I'm getting my favorite Chinese food place tonight. I'm so goddamn excited. I can't wait.
Place that went out of business and came back.
It went out of business and then came back, and I cannot wait to get it. I am so excited.
This is not a full podcast, so we're not going to get into it, but it's a little teaser for Tuesday's podcast or maybe Sunday's podcast when we do the full one. But I've been watching Chimp Empire, and that's something that I'm not going to stop talking about for at least 3 or 4 episodes. So get ready for that because that shit I can't wrap my head around. We just got done on last episode talking about what makes a human, what is all this difference. And bro, these chimps are
pretty
people,
close.
man. They're
pretty close.
They're fucking,
dude.
They're fucking people, man.
Well, the thing
Those
is,
baby chimps are just like human beings. Their faces are just like old men.
at the beginning of the Chimp Empire show, they say that chimpanzees are 98% our DNA. So the
2% is what makes like these lights turn on and us have like a Zoom live podcast talking about guys hitting golf balls. Like there's 2% of that.
Dan, if you get a chance, just watch it because it's 5 episodes, 45 minutes. It's
Netflix.
pretty fast. It's
No,
Netflix.
I saw the first one. It's about there's like an aging Dawn, right? And there's
Nagogo,
like an up and comer. Yeah. No, I saw the first episode.
There's and then like when you groom one chimp to another, and like that one chimp Gus is just like he has like social anxiety, so he like finally had the courage in that first episode to go up to like one of the leaders and groom him, and like the big moment was would the leader turn around and groom him, and the leader just doesn't, and the leader goes over to the big guy who protects the leader and he grooms him, and it's just like they fucking remember, they have fucking emotions. We're already getting into it.
Right, we'll wait, but.
Well, wait, I got to finish the series, so I'm sure even crazier shit happens, but I'm ready for it. Chimp Empire, amazing. Enjoy your Friday. Go play golf in the morning. Come back and watch the PGA Championship as the leaders or as everything just comes in to finish, and then we will be back on here. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be playing real early golf tomorrow, sitting on my couch, eating my ice cream, and watching the PGA Championship, and we will be here tomorrow on YouTube and the podcast, and that's it. That's all I got. Thank you to Fireball. You guys have a fantastic night. You got anything else?
No. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Go Lakers.
Ooh.
Go Lakers. See you guys.